Final Destination is known for its creative Rube Goldberg-like deaths of group after group of unlucky people. Film after film, we are introduced to a cast of dead meats who are stalked by the literal specter of death. Being an unstoppable force of nature, death usually wins in the end. In the 5 films made, only 2 people have actually managed to avoid the grim fate in store for them, at least if you ignore DVD extras, but we'll get there. The Final Destination films have a pretty simple formula. We meet a group of people who are all excited and full of life, usually because they are attending some cool event or attraction. Said thing goes horribly wrong and they all die. Or do they? The main character actually had a premonition, and now they can escape their early fate. Or so they think. It turns out death is very petty and hunts down each survivor, dispatching them with complex accidents. Our main characters try to cheat death, and it often seems like they do. However, the very ending reveals that they had no chance, and fate has one last cruel twist in store. This happens to the main protagonists in all but one of the original 5 films. The sole exception happens in the second movie. In that film, we meet main characters Kimberly Corman and Thomas Burke. Kimberly Corman has the initial premonition that saves the batch. Thomas is a police officer, and thanks to Kimberly, he avoided the generationally scarring death he was in store for. Oh, admit it, this scene made you forever side-eye any logging truck you see on the highway. At the end of the second entry, Kimberly and Thomas are the sole survivors of the group. They avoided death thanks to a loophole that involved an ambulance and some CPR. The end has one last twist in store though, with an explosion and a flying body part. However, crucially, by the time the credits roll, Kimberly and Thomas are still alive. This has been the case before with Clear Rivers and Alex Browning. However, Clear meets her end earlier in the second film, and poor Devon Sawa took a brick to the head sometime between movies. The theatrical versions of the sequels never mention Kim and Tom's off-screen deaths. It's a pretty fair assumption then that their efforts worked and they have successfully cheated Death's plan. There is one small wrinkle in that assumption, however. The third film featured a unique selling point for its physical release. A choose their fate option allowed viewers to spare or kill characters as they liked. One of these alternate scenes features some text indicating that both Kimberly and Thomas did in fact meet their end between films. The canonicity of this bonus feature is highly questionable, however, and can be easily ignored. In fact, this leaves room open for Kimberly and Thomas to return for the upcoming soft reboot, where death might finally get the chance to even the score.